Hi guys, welcome back to Casually Crafted. My name is Ashley and this is Crafty Chat number 88. So today I have a bunch of stuff to show you guys because I have a craft fair in 2 days. Today's Thursday, it's on Saturday. I probably won't post this till after the craft fair just because I have a million things to still do to get ready for that. But I'm starting to like pull the stuff out that I made and like try to decide how I want to organize everything because I have some things I have never had before. So this craft fair is like marketed as like a Mother's Day, spring, whatever craft fair. And I had 3 weeks to get ready for it. So I don't have nearly as much done as I wanted to. And some things took way longer than I wanted them to. And you'll see that some of these things aren't even finished, but I'm hoping to get them finished. So as I was finishing things, I just kind of throwing them into this bucket here in my bedroom. And yeah, so I'm just going to start pulling things out and show you what I've made. The stuff on the top, I'm still working on. So I decided to make some magnets. This is the back of the pan. I will be using the front for like display. So I made a bunch of hearts just out of random different yarns. Some of these I'm going to plan on selling like in sets, like a set of 3. The rest of them will just be on here. And then you can see here is a little rose. So I did make like a bunch of little roses in different colors too. And these don't have their magnets on yet. So this is one of those things that took way longer than I wanted to because, let's see, so I have this type of magnet. I don't know if you can see that. They're pretty strong magnets, but the problem was as I was trying to glue them on, as you would pull, like people aren't always going to be good and like pull from the magnet. They're going to like grab onto the heart and like pull, right? And the type of glue I was using wasn't holding well enough, and I knew hot glue wasn't going to either because that just peels off of, hot glue sticks to the yarn part fine, but it just peels off of the magnet part. So I bought a new glue and I like added the I don't know if you saw the like a white felt piece behind each piece, and yeah, so that's taken forever. That's why the roses aren't done yet, because I'm actually gluing right now. I'm gluing the magnet to the felt piece, and then I'm gonna glue that to the backs of the roses, just because these, it was easy to kind of put weight on because they're flat, and like stick them on really good and let them dry for a while. I don't want to squish the roses too bad, so I'm squishing them onto the felt part, and then I'll glue the felt because that part sticks fine with hot glue just onto the backs of these. So I had a set of 50 magnets, and so I think I made 50 between the hearts and the roses. And the actual like hearts took like 2 minutes. It's a pattern thing from Yarn Inspirations that I can link that down below, and I'll try to find what I used for the roses. I think I just took a screenshot of it, so I might have to figure out where I got that. And those took like 5 minutes, besides like the weaving in the ends at the end. The longest part has been trying to figure out what glue to use and how to get the magnets to stay and look nice. So I want to package some of those up, so that'll be a little while of work also. Next, so because this is a Mother's Day / and it's like almost like Teacher Appreciation Week, I think is next week, I decided to make some like wristlets and lanyards, and these are both the Wheat Stitch by Brianna K Designs. And so some I thought I wrote down the yarn for these. Hold on. Okay, so I was going to show you what yarns I used for each of these. So I tried to use mostly cotton yarns. So I used some Bernat Softy cotton, and this is the color Feather Gray. I think that's more of a tan than a gray. And these are also not done. So these, you can see the like wheat stitch texture will go around a little oh my goodness, keychain type thing with the little claw clasp, and the same with the lanyards. So it'll be like folded in half like this, and then this you could wear like on your wrist to hold your keys, and then this one is the lanyard, so that would be, you know, around your neck to hold your teacher badge or whatever job you have that needs a lanyard. So yes, I had 15 of the little clasps left. I use them for my chapstick holders also, so I needed to make sure to not go over 15. So that was that first one. I did another Bernat Softy Cotton. This is what I used for one of my daughter's Easter dresses, and this is the color Pool Green. So I did, there's the wristlet one, and these are all tangled up together, and the lanyard. For some reason there was a knot in the yarn, so I'll have to weave in that end. And I haven't decided what I'm pricing these at. I don't know if I want to say if you buy like a matching set, a wristlet and a lanyard, then maybe they get a discount or something. I don't know. Let's see. Alright, this next one, I'm getting everything all tangled in here, is a Lion Brand, I believe, Pima cotton. So it's this color. I can't remember if it's 100% cotton. Yeah, it is. It's just a lot softer than some of their other cottons. So here's that in the wristlet and the lanyard. Okay. And I'll just have to deal with the things tangled up. I also use some Lion Brand Kobu in the color mauve or mauve, however you say that. It's 51% cotton and 49% rayon from bamboo. So there's the color on that. And this one has a little bit of spots that I might have split the yarn. It's a little more splitty. Oh, my camera, or my light likes to do this. Hold on. Okay, so my light likes to randomly change to like bright white, and it's scary. I don't know why it does that. Let's see, I use, and I love this cotton by Hobby Lobby in the color Deep Teal. And this one came out a little bit thicker than some of those other ones, so I only did the wristlet in that one. I have this is a Karen Cotton Cake leftovers. I can't tell you the color because I used it years ago to make myself a shirt. So there's the wristlet, and there's the lanyard. And then I have a Lion Brand 24/7 cotton and a navy blue. And this one I just didn't think I'd have enough, and I had to choose to not make double of everything because I would have had more than 15. Hold on. Okay, I did make one more out of this Lion Brand Comfy Cotton blend. I don't know where it is right now. It's not in this pile. So if I come across it in the rest of the bucket, then I'll show it to you. But I didn't love it for some reason. I just feel like this color has like brown, but almost like a slightly purplish color, like wound together. So I only made that one with just the wristlet also. So we'll move those to the side and get rid of all these. Oh, here it is. It fell down on the floor. There we go. Alright, so next This one I just decided to do a few days ago. I saw this pattern on Instagram. Actually, I saw it before she had made a pattern for it, and everybody commented that they wanted the pattern for it, and so she eventually made one. It is a bendy snake. It doesn't have eyes right now, but it has one of those like hair curler things that you can like twist up and are flexible. And she uses like 10 millimeter safety eyes, which I thought was really tiny for Bernat blanket yarn. I was worried that it would just fall out really easily, so I think I'm going to try to embroider some eyes on these. This was the first one I made, so it's kind of fun that you can like bend it however you want and it stays like that. And she didn't say to stuff the head, like everything is just the curler thing in this part, but I did add some stuffing to the head. I just felt like it needed some of that. So last night I made 3 more real quick. I still need to weave in their bottom end and give them eyes also. So this is a Bernat blanket, this is a Bernat blanket. These are Premier Basic Chenille. Just, I did like 3 rows of the purple and 2 rows of the blue back and forth. So a lot of these things that I was making, I tried to make 3-ish of, just to have like a variety of the new things and not to take over too much. So I wouldn't mind making more of those, but they're really easy. Once you make the head, you just literally go around and around and around until it's as long as the curling thing, and then you decrease 2 rounds and that's it. So I could make more of these. I could bring this to work on at the craft fair if I wanted. We'll see. Let's see what's next. So I've made some towels that still need their buttons, and I did not make as many as I wanted. So let's see, I'll just show it real quick. So I usually I go to this point and then I weave in these ends. I use this long end to sew on the button, so I always leave an extra long end so that I don't have to keep this skein of yarn around. I can put it away. So these just need their last ends woven in and then buttons on. So 3, 4, and some of these are way different sizes, but that's how towels come, I guess. 5 and 6, and I wanted to make 10 at least because I was gonna give 2 to be like the raffle item. So we'll see if I get any more of those done in the next 2 days. I could also get started on some and bring them with me if I need to. So there's those. Alright, so to help me decide what to make for some of these things, when there's so many things I want to make and not any time to do it, is I did go to my jars that have like, I have one jar of like paid for patterns or PDF patterns, and then another jar of free patterns. And so I for a little bit I was going back and forth and grabbing one. I think one I put back because it was too complicated and I wasn't gonna spend time on it. But this one was one of the paid for patterns. It's a Chonky Cat by, I think it's Knott's Merry Yarn. I'll post it down below. But these guys need their mouths and whiskers, but I made a purple one, and then these two I did not have my yarn tail with, or my yarn needle with me, so their tails need to be put tacked down, and then they also need faces. So, and then a sparkly blue one. Whoa, lighting did not like that one. So those are kind of fun. I have had people ask in the past if I have cats, and I don't really love the loaf cat pattern that's really popular. And look how different the sizes are. This one is way softer than these two, so he's like tinier, and this one's huge too, because I feel like it's the older ones of the Bernat blanket yarn seem to be stiffer. So either that or I added too many rows or something on this one. I don't know. And the legs are made kind of weird. I wasn't expecting how they made the legs. You like pretty much just leave this bottom open and then you just sew it like, and then those are legs. I thought you'd go back around and like make them longer, but nope. That's just how the legs are, and they just, you can't see what I'm doing because there's the camera's there, not there, but they mostly just stand there. So yeah, I don't know why he's so much taller. He's even taller than this one, but oh well. So hopefully people like the cats. Okay, so let's see. I also, this was one of the first things I made succulents. So it is, you just make this pot thing, and then basically you make a circle and stuff it, and you leave some of these like loops. You're either doing front loop or back loop, I can't remember. And then in those loops you start in the middle here and you make these leaves as you go around, and then you shove it back in there. So I used a few different color greens to make those, and I only made 3 because they do kind of take a while. I don't know, that's all I have to say about that. They do say you can put like cardboard in the middle of, like on the inside to hold it straight, but they seem to be pretty good standing up on their own. So alright, so next I made a bajillion bookmarks, because again, thinking Mother's Day / teachers, I don't know. So I at first was going to make a bunch like this. This is Jada and Stitches. They did their mile a minute. A few years ago, they had a mile a minute blanket that they did that had a different stitch per month, their calendar blanket. And then she showed on a video how to make one of those into bookmarks. That's what I'm talking about now. With this yarn specifically, which I have. This is the Land Brand Summer Nights. And come on. So I made this one, and that's the only one I really made. Because I brought a bunch of like scrap yarns and then these to one of my daughter's track meets. So while we were waiting for her like next event, I was working on them. But I don't know what happened. I just kept, none of the other yarns I felt like were working. And her pattern has you like do a chain and then like make a little star at the end or something. So I was going to do that. So I didn't want to cut the yarn and then make more of the same one. I did make this one. This color I thought was more, could be more for a guy, so I did the edge without the shells. But yeah, as I was going through it later, I realized I didn't keep any of the ones that I started because they were all, either the yarn was too thick or I just didn't like the way the colors were turning out. So I only have 2 like that, because then I had found this pattern a while ago when I was looking for simple like crochet patterns like beginners could do, because I was trying to teach some younger kids how to crochet. We never even got to the point where we could like make something. They were still learning how to chain and stuff. But this is basically just a moss stitch rectangle, and then on some of them there is fringe. So I think the rest of these are that. So so like this one has the fringe. Some of them I didn't like the fringe on, so this is like a Lion Brand Ferris wheel, I think. And so is this one. And this one. I didn't add the fringe on that one. Yeah, they're just all kind of random. That's like a Ice Yarns Picasso. I don't remember what that one is. Karen Cotton Cakes. So I was trying to do mostly like scraps of things. This one and this one were both from different colors of a, it was like a clearance Hobby Lobby yarn, like Urban Chic or something like that, that has like parts that make, I don't even know. I was just kind of going how they went, and like after this turned orange, and so I was gonna do that for the fringe, and then I just thought it looked weird. And then I made a bunch of the hearts out of this one. This is a random cotton that I had that color changed. Oh my goodness. That's an I love this yarn, I think. This is Land Bread Ice Cream Cotton. I don't remember what that one is. And this one, and this one. And then I did make 2 out of the Lion Brand Summer Nights, so they're pretty small. Just little ones. I don't like how, this is where I started the moss stitch. You can like just tell that that's an edge. It's not very pretty. And this one, for whatever reason, starts bigger, and then I guess I tighten my tension a little bit after those first few rows. So it kind of goes from big to small, even though the stitch count is the same. So these are done, but they do need, what's it called? I bought a thing to print out to put the bookmarks in so that they like have a display or whatever. So packaging, that's the word I'm looking for. So I gotta print those out and put all those in their packaging. So the only other thing besides the last thing, one of my free patterns that I pulled out was the jellyfish by, I think it's All From Jade. I've done a lot of her other ocean animals, but I've never made her actual jellyfish. So here is a green one and a blue one and a pink one. And like I said, I was just kind of doing 3 at a time just to get a little variety. And this isn't everything that I'm bringing, this is just all my new stuff. So I have probably some other like turtles and fish and stuff from past times. So everything else in here is what's called Critterlings by, I think her channel or her Instagram and Etsy shop is called Pogsy Place. And she designed these to be tiny and to go into like the claw machines. So that's what I was making these for. Some of these still need facial features put on. And I was trying to make 3 at first and then 2 of everything. And what I did is I have her, so she has a bunch of packs of these. So a while back I bought pack number 1 and pack number 2, and there's 10 per pack. So I have 20 different animals to choose from. So I put them all on a little spinny wheel on my phone, and I was just doing them as they came. So I did, let's see, I thought I did 3 of these. There's probably one more in here somewhere. Okay, I did the mallard ducks. I did, there's options for floppy feet or just normal feet. So I did 1 of each, and there's probably more in here. They're just like mixed around. Then just a normal little chick. And for most of these I use, for almost all of my plushies like this, and these, it's a Premier Parfait Chunky. So then I did some budgies, which is funny because they were all birds so far, and one of my daughters was like, "Are you just gonna make birds?" It's like, well, that's everything that they've been, the spinny wheel's been doing. Oh my goodness. Alright, here is the other mallard. I knew he was in there somewhere. Alright, then I did kittens. And they kind of I feel like they kind of look like mice. I don't know. There's 2 little kittens. Then, I don't know if I'm doing this in exactly the order that I made them, but pretty close. There's some bees, and now these guys need their mouth still. And I don't know if, I think I made these eyes too far apart, but oh well. I'll just adjust how I make their, his mouths. Then, I did, whoa, some pigs. And then some cows. So even though these are small, there is a lot of color changes in some of these, with all the different baubles being different colors, the little noses. I don't know why my lighting is so weird today. The little noses are different colors, and then you like had to add the horns and the ears on later. So they do take a while. Like, I think I made 2 of something. I was just doing them at the same time, and it took like an hour to make both. So even though they're little, they still do take a little bit of time. This is, oh, the cows are supposed to have little lines on their noses, so I still need to add those. And maybe the pigs too. I can't remember if the pigs have nose lines. These are capybaras, or however you say that. This one's gonna have sleepy eyes, so his eyes need to be just a little line, and he is awake. And then today I made some frogs, but I didn't have my yarn needle with me, so they still need stuffing and being closed up. So, little froggies. And then also I've started 2 axolotls. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I finish the axolotls, that's 20 things for my claw machine, which isn't a ton, but it might just have to do. Honestly, because like I said, I don't have time to really do anything else, I don't think. I tried to make a dragon. I'll show it to you real quick. This was on the free patterns, but the tension and stuff like is totally twisted as it went down. So I'm not even gonna try to sell him. He'll just be for us because I just can't, like with all that yellow showing through, and how twisted and sideways it is. I just can't bring myself to even try to sell it. So I have a few other dragon patterns I think in there that I could try. And then also, this is more of an acquisition. I made myself a new logo, which I have not added to my channel, but as far as craft fairs go, I made this to go on my table. And right now that is backwards to me, so hopefully when I play it back it's not backwards, or I'll have to reverse it somehow. So I thought I needed something that represented the cutesiness of it, of the things I like to make more. Especially like when I first started, I wasn't really making a lot of the amigurumis and the plushie type things, but I am making a lot of those more now. So I wanted it to show something more fun than just like a yarn ball with with a hook in it and scissors. So I don't know. So yeah, I ordered that off of Etsy and hopefully it looks good. I didn't know what size to order, so excuse me. Alright, so that is everything. I need to, now that I spent 30 minutes talking to you guys, finish getting everything else out that I've made previously and figure out how I want to organize my tables. So, since this is already 30 minutes, I probably won't add like the results to this, but maybe once I'm done with the craft fair, I can do just another quick video about how I did on that. So wish me luck, even though this will be probably posted after I already do it. But anyway, I will talk to you guys next time. Bye, guys.